Hey guys, welcome back to Beyond the Court. Today we have a senior guard all the way from Corona, California, here with us, Jayda Curry.
Yeah, I've been playing basketball since I was 4. I'm a small guard. I am quick, but I do like to play, I call it swag. My coach calls it slow, but my teammates can still call me years later and just to check up or vice versa. Like that's something that'll probably mean more to me than, having any accolade or individual accolade. Now, we win in a national championship, absolutely. Like that's,
for sure.
That's definitely something I want to be remembered for.
Welcome to Beyond the Court, where we dive into the stories of powerful female athletes. I'm your host, Tori Dilfer-Stringer, and each week we'll explore the triumphs, challenges, and passions that drive these student athletes both on and off the court. Let's get started. Robert Alexander Center for Recovery, the leaders in high-level addiction and mental health care practices, are a proud sponsor of Floyd Street Media and 502 Circle. Through this partnership, they have been working with student athletes in a positive way to help raise awareness within the community. They are now contracted to provide services to U of L health professionals and are working hard to expand its outreach to help more people in the community. Together, we can shape the future, one life at a time.
Hey guys, welcome back to Beyond the Court. Today we have a senior guard all the way from Corona, California, here with us, Jayda Curry. She became a staple player in her first season with the Cards last year after 2 standout all Pac-12 seasons at California. So glad you're here. Thanks for being here with us.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, for sure. Let's just start with your journey. What led you here? How'd you end up here? Yeah,
I guess starting from the very beginning, I've been playing basketball since I was 4. I have a younger sister, Layla, and we're a year and a half apart. So we started playing. I was 4, she was 3. So we've been playing basketball for a really long time.
Yeah.
She goes to LMU in California right now. So, and she's a junior this year, which is crazy. But so we've been playing for a really long time. Got started early. She ventured out with a couple different sports, but I kind of stuck with basketball. I played golf a little bit, which I like to mention sometimes.
Look at you.
With my dad, just for fun though. But basketball was kind of the go-to from a really early age. And went through high school, played varsity in high school, got the opportunity to go to University of California for my first 2 years, and then decided to ultimately transfer to Louisville. And I'm super happy that I did. Last year was definitely a transition period for me, but I really enjoyed just seeing the growth. And I'm excited to see how I kind of transformed from last year to this year.
Yeah, for sure. Walk us through a little bit of that transfer process a little bit more. What led to that decision, and then what ultimately led to the decision to come here to Louisville?
Yeah, for sure. I had a great first 2 years at Cal, a great coaching staff, a great teammates. I met so many great people, one of which is still my best friend to this day. Yeah. So I definitely appreciate and was really glad that I got to get that experience. Ultimately, I was just looking for something a little bit more. I wanted to make it to the tournament. We didn't get to the tournament while I was at Cal, and I definitely wanted to be a part of that, as well as the ACC was definitely something that caught my eye as a conference. And then when I came on my visit and talked to Coach Walls and all the assistants and got to meet some of the players, I was just convinced. And Louisville's fan base, obviously I didn't get to really see it in action when I came on my visit, but they told me a lot about it, and they convinced me. And once I got here and we played our first game in the Yum, I was like, oh yeah, this is real. So the fan base is amazing. Louisville is amazing. Just the support they have for the university and for the athletics was something that I was really sold on.
Yeah. Dang, now as you're talking, I'm like, wait, we're so similar. I'm also from California. My transfer process was like super similar to yours, same reasons, and still so thankful for my time before Louisville and friends and all of that. But also from California. So how is that being so far and in such a different place?
It's so, during the cold season here, it's so cold. Like, I think that was the main adjustment, was just the cold. I have like my little North Face, but I had to get thermals. My car, I'm trying to open the door, like it's like stuck. I'm like, okay, like this. I have to warm my car up. I'm like, I've never had to do this. And being from Corona specifically, like it's just dry heat. Like it's during the winter, it's probably a good like 65, 70, which is great weather for me. But
I love it.
Coming here, it was like we were getting down to the 30s, and around there, I was like, oh, this is peak winter. So it was definitely different. the people are different from, I would say, from Berkeley for sure.
Yeah.
Just the amount of attention that the athletics get here, something that I was looking for, but also something that is overwhelming in a good way, though. I feel like, I mean, we just get so much support from every which way. You walk into a store and people are asking for a picture or just saying good luck on the season. Stuff like that is really cool and something that I really love about Louisville.
Yeah, no, definitely. And even just like something as simple as the campuses, like Berkeley's campus and Berkeley as a city is just so different. But like you're literally, campus is like built into the city. Like you walk down the street and all of a sudden you're not on campus, but you're in, so it's so different.
Yeah.
I've been a couple times, and so I love that we're like so close to the actual like city here, but you're a little bit separated. You kind of have your own space.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I can appreciate that for sure.
Yeah, lifestyle is just a little bit slower, and I totally agree, for sure. Awesome. So you mentioned the ACC and how that was a big appeal. What was it like playing in the ACC your first year last year?
It was different. I mean, Pac-12 is, it's hard to describe the difference. I think in the ACC, the guard play, it's a lot faster.
Okay.
We get up and down a lot more.
Yeah.
Whereas the Pac-12, a little bit of a slower pace, a lot more sets ran by different teams. I feel like scouting, we scout here as well, obviously, but like that was like you were locked into scout in the sense of there's so many different plays, all of these things. Whereas I've seen a lot of the ACC teams, you just got to go out there and play. Like, we have scout, we know who does what and things like that. But not a lot of plays are in. It's very athletic. It's very transition oriented, which was something I had to adjust to in playing fast. And being a small guard, like I got to rely on speed and being quick and things like that. So it was definitely a transition, but I loved the pace of it. Coach Walls loves to get up and down. I mean, for practice, it's fun. We just play. So it's like, we do drills and things like that, but he loves to get up and down. So that was something that I really enjoyed about it. Definitely different, and I had to adjust and still adjusting now. But I feel definitely more comfortable going into it this year. Yeah.
How do you feel like your game, like you mentioned speed, and then you're a great three-point shooter. I think you led the team in three-pointers last year. How do you feel like that transferred into that ACC style, more athletic, a little bit just like, maybe not player-focused, but less system-based?
For sure. I mean, like you said, I think being able to shoot it pretty well definitely helped. Stretching defenses out and things of that nature. And also being quick. I mean, I'm a small guy. I am quick, but I do like to play, I call it swag. My coach calls it slow. But I play with a little bit of swag, so I feel like I had to still be able to be myself, but also like knowing, okay, I got to turn it on type of thing. So, but yeah, it was definitely an adjustment. I think I'm still figuring out. But I'm super excited for this year. I feel a lot more confident going into it.
Yeah, for sure. What are your, maybe not expectations, but like what are your hopes for this season for yourself individually, especially being a senior, but then knowing you might have another year? You can walk us through that a little bit. And then obviously the team.
No, for sure. I think I'll start with the team first. I mean, we have so many young players this year. So outside of, the wins, of course we want to win. We want to get far in the tournament. Definitely want to bounce back from last year with our tournament run. ACC champions, of course, is always a goal. But I think for me, with these young players, like being a mentor in any capacity that I can, whether it's on the court or off the court, that's definitely a goal that I have for me and my team. But yeah, just winning. I mean, playing well together. It's a really talented group. They're super young, but they're youthful. I feel like it's an advantage. Like they love to run. So
there we go.
We're moving fast. But I also think they're picking up on things. They're open to learning, willing to get better, willing to, put the time in to make sure that they're prepared as well for the season. So as a team, I'm definitely excited for that. And then for myself, like you said, I possibly might have a fifth year, might not. So just being in a mindset and a mental space where it's like kind of playing it like it's my last year. I want to play pro afterwards. So putting myself in a position to do that is definitely a goal. But at the end of the day, just having fun as well. I feel like, it's the end of a long journey of college. Just want to enjoy the last one for sure.
Yeah, for sure. That's such a good perspective, especially being in that kind of state where it's like you might have another, which backstory you're applying or what's appealing for another season since your freshman year. You only played a certain amount of games. Which is tough. I mean, I think, and there's a lot more stories like that now with us having gone through COVID and all of that, like, and there's more redshirt years and all of that now, so I'm hoping you get that extra year because, I mean, we would love to have you here for another year.
For sure.
But, so yeah, just balancing like wanting to just, leave it all out there, just like leave nothing in the tank, finishing the year strong, while also knowing like, I might actually be back. How are you balancing that mentally?
Yeah, I mean, just using my resources. I mean, I feel like I have a great team, great teammates who are, push us every day, and push me every day to go hard. Great coaching staff who definitely pushes me every day to go hard. And just treating it like it's my last. I feel like even if it is, okay, I do get my year back, at least I would have gave this year my all, and
So true.
got to do it again. But I'd rather have that than, to have any regrets. So just staying prayed up, praying over the appeal, but also just praying that this season, does what, we all want it to do. So definitely just leaning on my faith and on my teammates and my family. For sure.
So shifting gears a little bit to more, who are you off the court? Like, what makes you you? Obviously, as a basketball player a little bit, but really, who are you outside of basketball?
Well, my teammates, or I'll say the young ones, keep calling me mom. And I haven't gotten that one because when I was at Cal and I was the freshman, my best friend Charisma to this day, she was a senior when I came in as a freshman, so I was calling her mom. So it's it's very weird to see it kind of flip around, and now I'm like, oh, am I really old, in the college perspective? But I just feel like, I'm a caring, loving person. I love my family. I'm all about my faith, and when I say family, I include my friends and my teammates in that too. So just a people person. I love when people feel loved. Love to make people feel cared about and things like that. But I'm pretty simple. I feel like I do basketball, I do school, and do my family as the main three things that I do. My faith is a big part of me. I feel like random hobby, I like to build Legos. It's a lot of chill things.
That's awesome.
I'll sit down, watch a TV show, coloring books. It's weird because I'm older, but I'm gonna do the kid things.
For sure.
But very chill. I'll stay at home all the time. But I'd love to have fun with my team, honestly.
Yeah, awesome. So you talked about your faith, and then simple little things like Legos and coloring being kind of outlets, and they kind of keep you grounded. So how have you grown in that sense? I guess we can talk college or coming to Louisville. However, what have been some big growth factors for you?
Yeah, I think growing up, I come from a faithful church-going family, and I feel like that was kind of just the foundation built and laid out when I was young. Then when I got to college at Cal, I had great 2 years. So I feel like you get into that sticky situation of okay, I'm doing well, so what more is there to do? And then I think that transition period coming from Cal to here, and just going through the ups and downs of a transition of colleges, and just level of expectation, honestly, I just was like, okay, something's missing. And I think that was that faith piece. And I've always been, I hate the word forced, but as a kid, you're forced to go to church. It's not, it's not your doing. And I was I just longed for that relationship, and really just kind of tapped into that. I've been meeting with Tammy. We have a group Bible study with the team. Awesome. And just trying to be consistent with that so that during the highs and the lows, I know who I can lean on.
For sure. Yeah. And so you mentioned your nickname Mom, which I was the same my senior year. And then just you talked about wanting to really be a mentor to your young teammates and just be there, and just that they know that you're there here after you're gone, Sure. So how are you building those relationships with those younger teammates so that they have that trust in you? And I guess what responsibility do you feel like comes with that role?
Yeah, I just think off the court, whether it be between, me and Riss putting together, we're going to have pizza today and just hang out or anything like that. And honestly, we're around each other 25/8 because we're in the gym 25/8. So it's it's harder to not be around them than to be around them. So I think just being genuine, making sure, they're good. Coming in as a freshman, I remember when I was a freshman and I was at a different school, but, you go through the same things of being away from home. And I can't cook, but, we can go get some food. I'm not the one who's going to make it at the house, but just making sure they're taken care of for sure. And I just think from a basketball perspective, just bringing my experience and being a leader and helping them through whatever they need help with.
Yeah, for sure. It's a cool perspective too that you have, that you chose to leave home. You originally, you weren't right next door. You obviously went up to NorCal, but you were closer, and then you made the hard decision. It's not that's easy to leave, especially when you're a big family person. And so you get to be that person for your teammates, because I know 8 freshmen, that's crazy. And a lot of them are from different places.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
So it's so cool that they have you to look to in that. And that's just a special perspective to have, that you've done something hard, it's built your confidence, but then it also gets to be an example to some of your teammates, you know?
Absolutely.
That's pretty special for sure.
For sure.
Awesome. So you're a sports administration major, but that journey wasn't easy with the transfer.
It was rough.
So yeah, talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, so, and even at Cal, I was studying, I went into Cal thinking I was going to do business.
Okay.
And everybody knows the business school at Cal is a tough one. Kiana Smith was actually...
I was just going to bring her up.
She went through
Yes.
it, so she... and somebody that I'm close to as well. And it's weird because she was at Cal and she came to Louisville. Like, we did the same thing.
It's so crazy.
It's very odd. But I was studying business and I was like, you're not going to do this. Then I was trying to do something where you like kind of create your own major kind of avenue. And then when I transferred, a lot of the credits didn't transfer over. So I ended up having to throw business out the window as a major. And so I'm doing sports administration and then I have a minor in business management.
Okay.
But yeah, I honestly, like, I just want to be around sport, whether that be in the coaching realm, the administrative realm. I did an internship this summer reporting downtown at Wave 3 Sports.
Oh, sweet.
Shout out to Kendrick and Dusty. But yeah, so that was a great experience and something that I was okay. Yeah, I could see myself doing a little reporting, broadcasting maybe.
Yeah, I could see you being like a Maria Taylor vibe,
Okay.
like for sure.
I'll take that. I'll take that for sure.
She's the best.
Yeah.
But okay, sweet. How do you feel like you balance, having passions outside of just basketball, having, wanting a future and working towards that, but then also wanting to go pro and knowing that like, hey, that's hopefully the immediate future.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't know. How do you kind of go about that, especially with this maybe being last year, maybe not?
Yeah. It's a lot of unknowns. And I struggle with that. That's something that I hate, not being able to control everything, not being able to know everything.
I feel you.
But just have to realize like, I'm not gonna be able to do any of those things. I kind of just have to lean on my faith for one, and then two, I just feel like I have a great support system who continues to just encourage me and support me in anything that I do. They're quick to remind me, like, if you wanted to quit basketball yesterday, like, we'd still support you. So that kind of puts my mind and my heart at ease for sure. Just leaning on them and of course my teammates and my coaching staff. Yeah.
Well, and you have you can tell you just have a strong sense of identity outside of basketball. And I'm sure you'd probably point to your faith as like the stronghold of that. But the fact that you have people in your life that speak into that, like, hey, like basketball's over tomorrow, that's cool. We still love you. You're still amazing. You still have a future. Like, how do you feel like you've always kind of had that strong sense of I'm a person before I'm a basketball player, or has that been a journey? To kind of figuring that out?
That's definitely been a journey. I think that because I played for so long, and I've had to realize too, like, it's okay that a lot of my identity is in basketball. That's what I've done for years. So I definitely struggled with that for a long time, and I feel like that's where I kind of reached out and was like, okay, yeah, I need to tap back into my faith like fully. But yeah, it's something that I struggle with every day to just keep continuing to remind myself that my value isn't in how I perform or how I practice one day. I might have a bad practice, but my value isn't set in that. So that's something that I try to remind myself of, even though it is hard, and I'm sure it's hard for all athletes. But yeah, so it's definitely been a journey. It's still a journey, but I feel like I'm on the good side of it.
For sure. Yeah. Where you're like aware of the learning. Like, I know I'm making those steps. Like, I'm not perfect. I'm not there, but like, hey, I know I'm going to figure this.
For sure.
For sure. Okay, so how are you gearing up for this season outside of just like, I mean, obviously you guys are in the gym nonstop. Like, I know how hard you guys work, but like, what are the things that you're focused on?
First off, I'm just super excited. I mean, I got the chance to go to Paris this summer to train a little bit. So being able to go back to play, I'm just super excited to be able to do that with my teammates. But yeah, I'm just excited. I think for me, the biggest thing is just the mental space and the confidence. I feel like that's something that I struggled with last year. And not necessarily doubting my skill, but doubting like, just like, can I do this? Is this really for me? Especially going through that transition period of transferring. So something that I'm trying to value and just put first is just confidence in everything I do, whether that's on the court or off the court. So that's my main focus.
Awesome.
And then also just taking care of the people around me, when it's my teammates, even my coaches, they need love too. So
for sure, yeah, their jobs are not easy.
Right.
I'll tell you that. And especially, I feel like they're probably in a weird time right now, where they've been putting in this. You guys have all been putting in all this work, but like, once season starts, like, it's not that it's fully on you guys, but they kind of like that. Their control is a little bit.
It's gone.
They
it's
have to kind of relinquish it, to you guys.
Sure.
So,
For sure.
But that's awesome. I mean, I know you guys put in all the work to where they can trust you. You guys build that trust over all this time, and having strong leadership on such a young team, though, is probably huge for them. And you guys being those, just leaders and taking care of those freshmen and, helping build them up is probably, probably takes a big weight off of them.
Absolutely.
They're not having to babysit, as some coaches are with a big freshman class.
Yeah, with 8 of them, you would think. Yeah. No, they're a good group for sure.
That's awesome. Okay, so what do you, whether it's this year or next year, what do you hope that your legacy is when you leave U of L?
That's a great question. I think just going back to the mentor, I just want people to be able to say like she really cared about other people. I think a lot of times, like, yes, I want the accomplishments. I want to be known as, you know, one of the greater players to come out of Louisville. But if my teammates can still call me years later and just to check up or vice versa, like that's something that will probably mean more to me than, you know, having any accolade or individual accolade. Now, if we win in a national championship, absolutely. Like that's that's definitely something I want to be remembered for, making a deep tournament run and things like that. But definitely just those relationships for sure.
Yeah. Gosh, that's so cool. I mean, as somebody that's a few years removed from it, like I was probably not thinking about that as much when I was in your position, but now I can look back and I'm like, man, I'm so glad people like you have that perspective because it does mean so much more.
Yeah.
You know, the success is awesome. Like you're always for sure going to be remembered for some of that success, but like at some point that stuff is forgotten. But like who you are as a mentor, a person, a leader, a teammate is so much, just it lasts so much longer and it feels it's so much more fulfilling, you know, like
a lot more.
At some point, like we love sports, they're amazing, but like there is an emptiness if that's what like our hope is fully in, you know? And so having something else to look back, like know, like, hey, when I look back, if I did that, I'm good.
Yeah, yeah. Coach Walls, we were with a recruit and he mentioned, he was like, most of the time, like when you come back together with your team, you talk about maybe a few games, but it's about the funny stories of somebody falling in practice, like the goofy things that nobody else would see but you guys. So that's what I'm most excited about and hope that, you know, I can remember for as long as possible.
Man, that's awesome. But I'm just so excited to see you guys get going. It's gonna be so fun. But yeah, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Of course.
That's it for today's episode of Beyond the Court. Thanks for joining us, and don't forget to share and subscribe to Floyd Street Media on all platforms. I'm Tori Dilfer-Stringer. We'll see you next time.